Now, in this video, what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk to you about how you can get other people to do the work for you. And honestly, that's very simple. And the way that you can do that is you can use these exact same services that we're going to be using to find work, okay, to actually go ahead and get our work done. And the way that that works, some people might call it like outsourcing arbitrage or something along those lines, but it's simple, really. Like you get a job, like I used to do those. In fact, these sites right here, I've charged anywhere from like, $197 to start with a monthly fee up to $800. And I charge that to these local companies, okay? And in this case, it's roofing companies. So I would build a website for a business, all right? And I would sell that service for, let's just say, $200. And then I would then turn around and go to a site like Odesk or even Fiverr. Fiverr, like we were looking at, we can go to Fiverr and get WordPress installed, okay? Themes installed, all that stuff for $5, okay? And that's something that you can charge a local business at least $100 for, at the absolute least $100 to install a theme, to install plugins. I mean, you could charge a lot more than that, but at the very least, you could charge $100 for that, and it's something that you could pay only $5 to get set up on Fiverr. Okay, and then after you had that set up, you could then go ahead and have some graphics work done for only $5 to go ahead and customize that site for the local business. So, the best way to get others to do the work for you is to use these exact same services that we're going to use to get hired, to go ahead and hire people to do the work for you. And I recommend you do that, once you get some jobs under your belt. You could also, I mean, there's no reason, and there's plenty of people that do this, there's no reason that you couldn't start by doing that. Like, you might not be good at graphics at all, but you could hire someone off of Fiverr for only $5 that turns out to be very good. There's lots of different services that you can make. Like, there are people here that will draw like cartoon characters, a caricature, customized caricature for $5. You could go ahead and get a fancy sales letter made and offer that to a business where a caricature can be made for them, or a mascot, something like that, where you're buying the service for only $5, but it's something that you could sell for, 50, 100, even more. So just use these same services, and Fiverr is going to be a great place to hire people. Odesk will be a good place to hire people, and Freelancer will be a really good place for you to hire people to do work for you. And you just want to make sure that you're very clear and concise on what you want done and what you're willing to pay. And so long as you charge more than you're paying to have the work done, you're going to make money. Now, in this video, I'd like to talk to you about a couple cautions, and this comes from experience. I have performed a lot of services. I've offered turnkey services. I've done a lot of services for people where I've made money. And the thing that you have to remember is time equals money, okay? Performing services is a great way to make money, but you have to realize that time equals money. And if you're not performing a service, if you're not taking your time to do a task, you're not making money. And that's the biggest drawback to performing services for people, okay? Those services, they take time. It might not take you much time, but it is time, and there is only a limited amount of time in every single day. So you need to make sure that you realize that. And in that, you want to make sure you don't overbook yourself. I've had this happen to me before, where I had an insane amount of orders, okay, and each job was taking me 3 hours or so, and I had an insane amount of orders at one time. And at one time, I was promising a 10-day delivery, but I had like a 20-day backlog, okay? So you want to make sure that you don't overbook yourself. I was able to overcome those. What I did was I got some help. Okay, I made it very clear to some buyers that I'm so sorry, I'm not going to be able to deliver to you on time. If you'd like, I'll be more than happy to offer you a 100% refund right now. Or if you'll stick with me, I promise that the job is, will be worth it to you. But you want to make sure that you don't overbook yourself. You don't want to get too much work that there just isn't enough time to perform it. And you do want to try and outsource as much work as you can. In the beginning, you might not want to do that because every dollar you make, has to go to you. It has to go to feed your family or feed yourself. And I understand that. Believe me, I understand that. There was a long time where I wouldn't outsource anything, and I was doing all of the work and performing a lot of different services, and truthfully, just not having enough time in the day. So make sure you remember, those services are going to take you time. Make sure you don't overbook yourself, and you want to try and outsource as much as you can as soon as you can. Okay? And if you remember those things, you really can make a lot of money performing services. Now, I'd like to do a quick video and tell you the quickest and fastest way and most secure way for you to get paid. And that's definitely going to be using PayPal. You're going to want to, if you don't already have a PayPal account, chances are you're going to want to go ahead and get one, because what is nice about PayPal is, number one, you get paid instantly. As soon as they send you the money, it's in your PayPal account. You can either withdraw it or use it to buy goods and services through PayPal. PayPal is secure. Pretty much every country is going to offer, or is going to, users from every single country can pretty much use PayPal. There are a couple countries where users can't use PayPal, but generally those aren't people that are going to be hiring us more than likely anyway. You will want to get PayPal. Sometimes people will offer to pay you with Western Union or wire you money. I recommend that you stay away from those people a lot of times. I actually have gotten scammed in the past before on different types of money transfers. So I do recommend that you use PayPal. A nice thing about PayPal is you can just, all you need is their PayPal address, and you can either send them a request for money, or you can even create an invoice. If you're going to get fancier and want to look more professional, you can create an invoice and have that sent to the buyer of the services. Another way that you can use PayPal is you can just, like, if you're going to package or if you're going to have an ad for something, you can go ahead and create a PayPal button, and people can just click on the button and pay you. And even if they don't have a PayPal account, so long as they have like a credit card or a debit card, they'll still be able to pay you. So PayPal is definitely the way that you want to go about getting paid, in my opinion. Now, the exception to that is like services through iWriter. They may pay you in a different way. Some of the other services like Elance and Guru, Get a Freelancer, they might have other ways of paying you, but generally you can get paid right through PayPal, even through those services. So I do recommend that you use PayPal to accept your payments. All right. Now, in this video, what I want to do is I want to talk to you a little bit about the best types of clients to get. And in my opinion, it breaks down into two different categories. If you are selling packages, whereas you place an ad for a service, like you go to the Warrior Forum and you offer up a turnkey deal, or you offer some sort of services, and you're going to have a payment button on there. Okay. What I find is the best type of client to have is to have a newer person to the internet, someone who's inexperienced. They might not have a lot of technical ability, and the best type of client really is those newer people. Okay. That is, like I said, if you're going to be offering turnkey services or making an ad where you are selling your service. On the other hand, if you're going to be getting work through Odesk or Freelancer or some of these other freelancing sites, like even iWriter, in my opinion, the best types of clients to get are those who are very clear in the specific task that they want done. Like, say you get hired to design a banner for someone, and they don't give you clear instructions. All they say is, I want a flashy banner that says this, okay? And they don't give you any examples of other banners that they like. They don't tell you any types of colors or color palettes that they like. They're very unclear about what they want. They just want something very broad, flashy. It's something very broad, okay? And they're not clear in their directions. You may have a very hard time delivering exactly what that person wants because you don't know what it is that they want. Something that might be flashy to them is very conservative looking to you, or vice versa. Now, on the other hand, if you can get an employer, someone who hires you with a very clear set of instructions, if they can give you very clear and concise instructions, you'll have a much better time of meeting their needs, and you'll probably fulfill their needs a lot better. So I find that if you're going to be offering the services on your own, meaning if you're going to be placing ads for a type of service, I find that the best type of client is those that very beginner, isn't really sure what they want. They found your ad and decided that's a service I want. Now, on the other hand, if you apply for a job and if you get a job, say, through a service like Odesk, okay, and the person, like, this really isn't that specific of a job, okay? I really recommend, if you're going to be taking a job where you get hired from someone on Odesk or one of these other freelance sites, make sure that the person is very clear in the instructions to you. Because the clearer they are in the instructions, really, the more chance it's likely that they're going to be happy with the work that you do for them and hopefully hire you again for more work. Alright, now in this video what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk to you about how you can make some money selling services to offline clients. And by offline clients, what I mean is small businesses and local businesses, either in your area or outside of your area. And this is an area where since 2008 I've been doing business, and it really is, it's a gold mine for those of you out there with the inclination and the desire to maybe provide services to these offline businesses. What I did was I combined a whole bunch of services, and I put together turnkey packages for local businesses where I would build them a website. I would go ahead, get them ranked on the search engines. I would do all the technical things for them. I'd update their websites. And all they really would have to do is give me the information on their business, and I would go ahead and put together a website for them. And you can make a lot of money with this, I'll tell you. Providing services to offline clients is just a really good way to get a premium. Whereas if you were selling, say, a website, okay, if you were going to create websites for people online, you might be able to get, $47 or $97 or $200 or so for a website. But if you're selling it offline to offline businesses, you might be able to get, $300, $400, $700, $800, $1,000 for doing basically the same kind of work. And like I said, what I did, the type of services that I provided for offline businesses was I created their online presence for them, and I got them noticed. It was a combination of SEO and website building, but there's all kinds of services that you can provide to offline businesses. You could go so far as you could start with maybe offering to build them an email list. A lot of offline businesses have no idea of the benefits of having an autoresponder can do for them. You could offer to create content for them, create articles, create press releases, create websites, create videos for offline businesses. There's just a whole bunch of different services that you can provide to these offline businesses. And like I said, a lot of times that you're going to get more money for them than you would selling to a regular online business. Right now, in this video, what I want to do is I want to share with you just a couple of secrets on how you can turn small jobs into big paydays. And what I mean by that is if you get a job, say at iWriter, writing articles, okay, or at Fiverr doing some task for $5, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you deliver the product that they or the service that they bought from you. Make sure that you deliver that in a very timely manner. You want to make sure that if they buy something from you and you promise a delivery date, make sure you stick to delivering your service by that delivery date. Okay? You also want to make sure that you're very polite and keep good communication with the people. Like after they order from you, make sure you thank them. Make sure you're very clear in instructions. If they have instructions for you on the task that they want you to do and you aren't sure about something, make sure that when you request more information from the people, make sure that you're very polite and courteous, okay? And then once you do provide the service, or say you're doing articles, okay? Say someone buys one article from you on Fiverr. What you might want to do is, and you can do it before or after the job is complete, but a good thing to do is write them an email. Hey, I want to thank you for ordering this job for me. I plan on having this done for you, say, in one day. As a new customer of mine, I'd like to offer you a special discount. What you want to do is put together some sort of little package for them. Like if they bought one article from you, okay, for $5, you might want to offer them a package of 4 additional articles for only $15. Or if you were going to do some other service, try and bundle some services. Like if you were going to install WordPress for a person, maybe for $10 or $15 or even $5 if you got the job off Fiverr, and it's just a simple install of WordPress, you could then go ahead and offer them, hey, we went ahead and installed WordPress for you. Like to know if you'd like to have any content written or content uploaded for you. I'd be happy to do it for you for a very small fee. And just by being polite, courteous, and actually offering to help people, because that's the one thing that these people want, is they want help. They hired you because they needed help. And the more helpful that you can be to these people, the more business that you're going to bring in. And even if you're just bringing in a $5 job, you can easily turn that into a $20, $50, $100 job if you provide them with nice service. I'd like to talk to you about a pretty clever way that you can make money by providing a service. And the service that I'm talking about here is going to be setting up PLR packages for people. Now, I sell an awful lot of PLR, and there's a lot of PLR sellers out there, but very few people offer this service. And this is just a service that I've done very well with. I don't do it all the time, but a lot of times when I sell a PLR package, okay, that includes a website and say a report or some videos, what I do is I offer them a done-for-you setup service where here you can see this one right now. This is for a product of mine, and what I do is after they buy, I offer them this basically a special offer where I will go ahead and do everything for them, okay? What I do is I register a domain name for them. I set up your site from top to bottom with their information, which basically just means that I add their ClickBank ID and add their name. I add their autoresponder code to their website. I give them 3 months of hosting, and I upload everything to their new hosting account. Basically, I made the PLR package that I sold them into a turnkey package. So instead of them having to do all these things, I offer it to them for a low price of either $97 or $47. And it's just a great way that you could make some pretty good money. And like I said, there's not a lot of people that offer this service. And a good way that you could find business is if you sell PLR, you could definitely offer it on your download page, okay? But another thing that you could do is contact other PLR sellers and say, hey, do you offer a done-for-you setup service? And if they don't, offer to set something up for them. Put together a simple sales page where you talk about exactly what service that you're going to provide, okay? And then ask them, hey, on your download page, would it be all right if we put my sales letter or an ad to my services offering my setup services? And you can go ahead and split the cost with that person. I'll be honest, I offered this service right here for $47. And I feel a little embarrassed telling you, but it really took me about 15 minutes to earn that $47. And I've also sold it at $97. So if you're quick and if you know what you're doing, you can set up this PLR for people in no time flat. Okay, I mean no time flat, because all you're basically doing is uploading the contents that were in a PLR package to their web hosting account, or create the web hosting account for them. But selling PLR setup service is just a killer business idea, and I hope you see the potential in it, because there really is a lot of potential to offer a done for you setup service for people that buy PLR. Because the fact of the matter is, a lot of people that buy PLR, it just sits on their computer because they don't have the time or maybe the technical ability to set the site up for them. So if you can offer that, you can make some good money doing that.